Okay, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye coming to again with a brand new video. This time it is to preview the Watford versus Arsenal game. Now, apologies for coming on so late. All I'm going to say is YouTube. I don't know what you guys are doing. Me and you got to have some sort of conversation. But in the meantime, I had 2 out of 3 of my guests with me, and I'm going to work on getting the third one on. First of all, say hello to the people. Tops, it's been a long time.
I know, man. A long time coming, man. It's great to be back on the show. Thanks for inviting me back on once again. And yeah, I'm looking forward to previewing the Watford game with you guys here. So thanks for having me back on, man.
Brilliant. You're more than welcome. And also, I couldn't do this show without having the voice of reason on. So say hello to the people, Claude.
It's 2 of us now, apparently.
Yeah.
2 voices. Yeah, evening, boys. Yeah. Oh, what a week ahead, eh?
Yeah.
What a week ahead, exactly. And let's get to it. A number of important away games coming up, particularly the first 2 starting tomorrow against Watford. Claude, let me get your feelings on it. I've been thinking, and I've been arguing with my friends about this, that and I know you're not a huge fan of rotation, but I would consider rotating for tomorrow. Well, what's your thoughts behind that?
No, we're doing very well, and why not keep it? Keep the same team, mate. Keep the same team for tomorrow. It's important. It's important we win this game tomorrow. I'm not going on about forgetting Napoli. That comes to it. Take one game at a time. That's all you've got to do. Obviously we can't. Socrates can't play tomorrow. That's the only change I would make. But I would keep it as it is because it was a good top performance the other night. We've got to have that intensity we had in the first half. Go at them. Play like that. Why can't we play like that away from home? We're away from home. We can't play like that like we do at home. You know what I mean? There's no reason. And keep it. I don't want to see El Neni and Dougal in the midfield on tomorrow night either. You know what I mean? No rotation, mate. I had enough of that at Everton.
Fair enough. I could definitely understand the sense of what Claude is saying. And listen, I know a lot of people who think the same thing. Tops, what's your thoughts on the rotation? To rotate or not to rotate tomorrow?
For me, I think I'm gonna agree with Claude, to be honest with you. I think if our squad was in a position like a Manchester City's where they can take out a De Bruyne and put in like a Bernardo Silva, I think rotation's fine. But I just think the level of quality in our squad and the fact that our away form's been so poor in the Premier League, any kind of changes, like Claude was saying, we've seen at Everton, we put in El Nene and Guendouzi in there, and the quality just drops dramatically. And I think we've got to try and win every single game. We could easily, get beat 3-0 by Napoli because they've got a good side and they're strong at home. And then that Europa League basket's done. And if we sacrifice by playing a weakened team against Watford and lose as well, our season's in disarray. So for me, like Claude was saying, one game at a time, try and win the Watford game, and we're going to need our best team to win at Watford because, as I said, our away form's not great and they're a tough team at home. So we're going to have our best players, in my opinion. And for me, I stick with the same players, apart from Socrates, and go from there and see if we can get the 3 points and build some momentum. I think if we keep winning and we have that confidence of winning away at Watford, that might turn into the game away at Naples and we might perform better. Whether instead of this, we win one game at home, then we lose a game away, and then we never get that proper rhythm and momentum within the team and within the structure. So for me, strongest team again, mate, for me.
Yeah, I must admit, I could definitely get what you're saying. Watford is going to be a difficult game. Watford themselves are probably chasing potentially European football themselves. So they're going to really put as much effort as they possibly can to try and get European football. Also, they are a bit of a bogey team for us, so I guess we do need to concentrate. What do you think our issue is when it comes to playing Watford away, Claude?
It's like every other game away. It's the mentality, isn't it? I mean, that's our away form. Is not We don't play with that intensity, do we? Away from home. There's no. If you look at Man City, Liverpool, they play the same way whether they're playing at home or away. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the difference between that and the top. And even Spurs played. I hate to say it. I can't. It hurts me to say. Even they, they play the same way. We don't. We think we slow down when we play away. We play. See that first half against Napoli, the intensity was not quick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But in the second half, of course, Napoli got on a bit further into the game because it slowed down. If you notice, the intensity slowed down, and it suited Napoli, didn't it?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I think it's a mentality. I think it's a mentality issue. I just don't understand it why we don't. But it doesn't help when you're playing, as I say. You play that midfield we played against Everton, mate. Oh, Jesus Christ. They're all having a go. No, they're all having a go at Ozil. This gets on my nerves. But what do you expect, Ozil? He had to keep coming back to get the ball when those two behind him were doing nothing. It's all right, Guendouzi does a lot of running. I couldn't run around like that in circles all afternoon and get nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Where's the end product? And the other one, El Neni, mate. I mean, come on, he's not even fit. He shouldn't. We're playing championship. He's a championship player. At least with Guendouzi, still young. All right, he's a young kid and he's still got a lot to learn. But with El Neni, mate, he's not Arsenal quality, is he? Come on.
No, true. He's not
El Neni's good if you're like 3-0 up with about 20 minutes to go, or 2-0 up with 20 minutes to come on the pitch and just slow it down a bit, tap the ball sideways, backwards and sideways. That's what he's good for, but not to start a game with.
No, true. I must admit, the one thing that completely baffles me is just the way we perform at home. Like Claude says, I don't understand why we can't seem to take that kind of intensity. I know home form is important for most teams, but it shouldn't be this much of a hindrance to a team like us who should be able to perform. We're supposedly a top team, but yet we've got relegation form away form. I mean, it's ridiculous. The fact that we've not kept a clean sheet away pains my heart whenever I think about it. Tops, what do you think the problem is when it comes to playing away?
I think it's a numerous amount of things. Our away form was terrible last season under the previous manager, and that's got to stem from mentality. The fact that the previous manager never used to change the way he used to play, and expected every team just to set up the same, and that obviously wasn't the case. And with this season, I think that a key thing and you look at Liverpool's and Manchester City's team, the key thing they both have is pace in wide areas, pace up front, and you can argue bar Aubameyang and Iwobi, we really lack that raw pace when transitioning from defending away from home to attacking, and I think that's one of the key things that it scares a home opposition. Teams are not going to go gung-ho when they've got the likes of Salah, Mane and Firmino looking to break on them, and same with Salah and Sane. So for me, I think it's how we set up originally. It is very, very cautious every single time. Unai Emery does like to play 5 at the back. And I think it kind of gives teams that are playing us a bit of an encouragement, like, oh, okay, they've got 5 defenders. Maybe they're not really up for it. I think there's not enough away games I've seen where we just took it to the opponent. We're a better side than the majority of these teams we're losing to, like West Ham and Southampton, obviously even Everton. If we would have just took the game to them instead of coming with this like passive aggressive, lack of intensity, lack of movement kind of approach, I think we just kind of let them come on to us and then end up conceding a goal, and we can't get ourselves back out of that rut of complacency. So for me, I think it's a combination of maybe manager selection, tactics, the mentality within the players, and that lack of intensity from everyone in the team. I think it stems through from top to bottom. I don't think anyone consistently plays well away from home, especially this season, and that's obviously evident with the results. And in fact, we've only got 5 away wins and no clean sheets. So for me, I think it's definitely going to be something where we can get better personnel next season, hopefully, fingers crossed, and gain into this winning mentality away from home. But we've got to start somewhere, and hopefully it's against Watford on Monday.
Yeah, well said.
It's also down to lack of quality as well. We we haven't got the quality. Let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. We haven't got the quality of the other sides, have we? Really, we haven't got that much. If you ask me, and I'm going to be honest, we've got good players, but we haven't got. I don't think we've got one world-class player in our squad.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
agree with that.
to be honest.
I'd agree with that.
We haven't got one. You can't call. I mean, you can't call Aubameyang or Lacazette world class. They're good players, but they're not world class.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, even the finishing the other night. I mean, it was the finishing from Aubameyang the other night. He's a good. Don't get me wrong. He's just below that level of being world class.
Good European striker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I would agree with you. Yeah, 100%. I don't get me wrong. I like both of our strikers, but I think you're lying to yourself if you say that they're world class. I don't think they're world class.
I think what it is with our fan base, we've had such a low. Our standards have really dropped.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? No, this is. I don't want to be horrible or anything. I speak as I see it. Our expectations and our standards have gone so low that now we consider these players as world class, but they're not. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And I'm only being. It's only my opinion, by the way. It's only my opinion. I don't want any personal attacks on Twitter after this. It's only my opinion.
No, yeah, I'm with you. I think fans do need to understand the difference that, yes, because you have an opinion about a player does not mean that, you should be attacked or anything. That's just your honest opinion. You don't believe that these players are world class, which I agree with. And a lot of people in the chat room actually agree with you. So, yeah, they agree.
I like Socrates, but to me, he's another one. Everyone's going, oh, world class. But no, because he's the amount of times he's clumsy. He's not got 10 yellow cards for a reason.
Yeah.
He's got 10 yellow cards for a reason.
Yeah.
So there are. I think, to be honest with you, our defence needs to be. I think there needs to be a massive investment in this squad, massive turnover of players in the summer. Otherwise, come next this time next year, we'll be saying the same old thing. We'll be saying the same, but because I want us to be challenging. I know it's only his first season, but the next season he's got to be challenging for at least putting a challenge in. You know what I mean? Not this. I don't want to hear this. Oh, we need 6 windows, 6 transfer windows. No. Next season, this summer, action needs to be done. I don't want to be seeing someone coming out of a retirement home in Italy or Man United. Someone Man United don't want. You know what I mean? I want quality. We need quality. We need quality signings in the summer. And we've got the money, but there's no doubt. Don't ever say we are, because there's going to be a lot of players coming off our wage bill. Ramsey's going, Czech's going. I think we're going to lose certain other players. We can get off the. I think there's been interested. There's even been interest in Xhaka, isn't there?
Yeah. Would you sell him? I was going to ask you that, guys, that at the end of the show. But would you sell Xhaka?
I mean, I'm not going to ask you personally all the question. Would you now? And I like Aubameyang, but would you sacrifice a big fee for Aubameyang if we could get a top class winger in?
Let me let top ourselves.
No, this is what I'm trying to say, because I think what we need big. If we need to do, I think what we need big time is a top quality winger.
True, I agree.
I think because I heard that Real Madrid are really are going to put a big bid in for him in the summer. So, I mean, would you sacrifice him? Because I know as much as he does it at home games, away games and the big games, he hasn't done it, has he?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the winner. So if you were to say to me, Aubameyang, Real Madrid are going to offer, let's throw a number out there, 50 to 60 million, what we paid for him, right, back. And we're going to use that on, say, a Nicolas Pepe from Lille, who's an excellent winner. I'd probably do it, personally. That's me. I can understand why someone would be like, no, I would.
The reason I say that, Chris, because we don't always play with two up front, do we?
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly why I would.
Sacrifice one of them, couldn't we, and get a top-class winger in?
But then I think you are then left with, okay, but what if something happens to Lacazette? Then we would need a striker capable of scoring goals as well. That's the only thing. The only thing I would say. But I would, because I like Aubameyang a lot. But I've said from day one, I knew that Lacazette was a better player. I think Aubameyang scores goals because he has better attacking movement. But I think Lacazette is the harder worker of the two. I've always said that. I've always maintained that. So ideally, yes, you wouldn't want to sell either of them. But we seem to have an owner that doesn't like spending money. So I definitely understand the question. Well, what do you think, Tops?
Yeah, it's the sticky one, really, because the only thing I would say is that, like, if Lacazette did get injured, if we sold Aubameyang, what are we left with? Eddie and Nketiah? Obviously, Welbeck's not going to get a new contract. And if we're going to be challenging for the Champions League as well, just to have one striker. And to be fair to Lacazette, and I agree with you, he's a better player than Aubameyang, but if you look at his goal return, it isn't amazing. He's only got, 13 goals in 30 games in the Premier League. So you're thinking that we're losing, 17, 18 goals from Aubameyang. It's going to be a massive gap for someone to bridge that. We've just had buying one winger and not another striker. So in terms of, and we want to be challenging for the league, we need a striker that's going to get you 25, 30 league goals. We need one if we're going to be, that's our ambition. So for me, I mean, I don't know, man. I think we could get a winger and keep both of them, to be honest with you, because for a club, any other top club, they keep all their good players. I mean, let's be honest, Aubameyang is one of our best players at the club. I know what Claude's saying in terms of cashing in because our owner doesn't want to spend any money, but I want to keep our best players and add to them and then sell the likes of El Nene and squad players that we don't obviously rate Mustafi and stuff like that and use that kind of money to then, strengthen these positions on the wing. So, yeah, for me, I'd probably keep him and sell all the players to gain the money for a top winger, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting debate, though.
I feel with a top-class winger, I think we'd do a lot more damage. I think that's what we're lacking. We haven't got that width.
That width, yeah. Just someone who's a natural winger. Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, I mean, I like Iwobi, but he's not quite the standard. You need that extra, that level up.
Yeah, I definitely hear you.
I don't know what I don't understand what's going on with this Suarez. I see he's not even getting the game, is he? I don't know why we bothered buying him. Why we bothered getting him on loan? I don't know. That was what all that's about.
Yeah, I think it's looking like that the Suarez thing was almost bought in to appease fans as opposed to someone that we actually need. It's a shame for him. I do finally see a certain Scottish fella has come in.
Hey lads, how you doing?
Hey man.
Chris, all I'm gonna say, right? Google is a fucking bitch. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't give a fuck.
So those of you who are who wondering why we were running so late, I think Colin has illustrated it perfectly what the issue was.
Fuck Google, that is all.
Not the opinion of my show, Google. Don't start messing with my money.
No, don't mess with Che. Che's good, man.
But yeah. So Colin, so we've spoken about a couple of things about our away form and about and Claude posed a really interesting question actually about Aubameyang versus a winger. And one of the things that he asked was if you felt that you would sacrifice selling Aubameyang to bring in a top-class winger. What do you think? Would you do it?
No, we need to add, not sacrifice.
Ah.
Yeah, that's what I said, man. That's what I said.
Right, and I've been looking at the chat as well. I know Archie said the exact same thing. So it's like, I don't see the point of, well, I just don't see the point of selling Aubameyang when, if you want a player of that ilk, you're spending 80 million minimum.
Mm.
And we're not going to do that, bro. We're not going to do that. So I don't see the point, to be honest with you.
The reason I say it, right, because you know what our board is like, yeah? We're not going to spend money. We're not going to add unless we get money in. You know what they're like? It's like a self-sustaining model that's been given to us, and which I'm a deadly against. But maybe I'm in the minority on that. But that's the way the board is going. So you're not going to get. So you're not going to get them spending more money than what they're going to bring in. And that's the problem.
Yeah, I agree.
I get that, but you have to take into consideration the wage bill as well. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we've got too many players on, big money as well. I mean, there's a certain somebody who's, I don't know the figure, but there's a certain somebody on 40 grand a week, is it?
Oh, what? You talk about Jacobson?
Oh, yeah. There's a certain Danny Welbeck who's on how much?
100 grand a week.
Yeah, it's on 100, isn't it? Yeah.
There's your problem right there.
And the most disturbing one is what do you call it? Rich Diner is on 120.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's on a lot of money.
Don't get me wrong, I love Lichtsteiner, lads, but come on, man.
Oh, just a quick shout out to VP. I did see your donation earlier. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. We do have a lot of average to poor players on a ridiculous amount of money. Listen, Kolasinac has showed better form recently, but I heard he's on 200,000 a week.
Controversial check, though, right? I'd actually sell Kolasinac, right? Whoa. And don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that because of what he's contributed, right? And because I don't think he's good enough, right? Attacking wise, he's fantastic. I'm not disputing that, right? What I am disputing, though, is his defensive contributions. It's that simple. To me, I don't want to put him in the same breath. I don't want to put him in the same category of Marcus Alonso, but he's very similar to him in that sense.
Do you know what? I was going to say the exact same thing. He's a Marcus Alonso.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's the thing. And I've always maintained that outlook. That's fine if you're looking to, I don't know, just be thereabouts, yeah? Kolasinac is fine if you're looking to just aim for the Champions League spots. But Emery's looking to take us above that, I think.
I must admit, Zen has just made a point that Zen in the chat room, big up, he just made a point that I would make. And that's, I don't think, and I know Claude has said this at the very top of the show, I don't see there being a massive clear out of all these players over one summer.
That's another thing.
Emery's going to need a good 2-3 windows to get in everybody that he wants in. So I do think that's an excellent point that he's just made.
Well, there's your problem though, because then next season we're going to have the same, won't we?
And that's the thing though, Claude, because while you were talking, in my mind, I was thinking to myself, all of this depends on Stan, really, because all the reports are adamant. If we don't get top 4, we've got 45 million to spend. I'm sorry, 45 million is not going to cut it.
Then you're actually hanging this present coach then, because he ain't got the money to spend. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
As much he can't. How can he take us up to the next level if he's not got the investment? He can't. There's no way.
No.
No way. And that's why you've got to get rid of. You've got to get rid of these players in the summer and get this wage bill down and get the players that we need in.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Okay, well, let's talk about something else, actually, that's been a hot topic. And I only bring this up because me and him were having a conversation about it. Me and Lee were talking about it. And that is Aaron Ramsey. Now, a lot of people have various different strong opinions on him. Some people think that we should do everything we can to rip up the Juventus contract. Some people think that he leaves the club a legend. Some people think that he was never good enough and they can't wait till he goes. I'm more than anything, I'm very curious to what you think, Claude. Where do you stand with this Aaron Ramsey?
Where do I stand on him? I think he's a good player, but I don't see that why everyone is going so mad about it. What annoys me is that he's done. Before this season, he was in and out. His form was dipping in and out. He was never consistent, was he? He suddenly plays 3 or 4 good games, and this fan base is now suddenly saying what a disaster it is that he's leaving.
Yeah,
I think he's a good player. I don't think he's world class. I think he's a good player. And when people say he can't be replaced, I think it's nonsense. There's loads of players that can replace him out there.
Yeah,
I can name 3 or 4
players. To say that
100% agree.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
100%.
He's not a bad player. It's just that he's. I think it was maybe because he's been a bit injury prone. That injury got. I don't think he ever fully recovered from it. But he's not. I mean, you're right. He's finding a bit of form now, but he has been in and out. And if you look at his record over the last few years, it ain't been that brilliant, has he? He's been in and out of the team, hasn't he, a lot?
Yeah, and I think, funny enough, Michael just said what I was.
I know you're all going to disagree on me on this one, but I just don't see why everyone is now suddenly saying what a disaster it is that he's going. And let's get this straight, yeah. Everyone said these contracts should have been. He should have signed the contract. If the player ain't going to sign, he ain't going to sign. If his agent tells him not to sign it, he ain't signing it. And if someone's coming in with 400 grand a week from Italy, he ain't going to sign a contract with Arsenal, is he? There's no way you're going to keep him. And everyone said we should have done it 2 years ago, but the player doesn't go. Apparently now it's they're going to say now if they come to 2 years, apparently that they've decided to change the plan now that they're not going to. They're going to get rid of them. But look, I think, how can I put it? I think he's a good player. I won't lose sleep. I cried when Brady left. I cried when Patrick Vieira left. I cried when when Bergkamp retired. I'm not going to cry over Aaron Ramsey.
Yeah, and honestly, that is exactly the way I feel. Like the boys either side of you, Colin and Tops, will both know I've had my issues with Aaron Ramsey over the years.
Early days.
I think he's been I think he's been a good player. Maximum respect to him at the moment for playing as well as he is. Given the fact that, let's be real here, he could kick into, handed in notice, as I like to call it.
Oh yeah, no, that I do respect him for. I mean,
I do respect him immensely for that. He's given, and he's shown he really does love the club for him to do that. I believe all those things, but I also believe that, to be honest, we can find better. People are crying like, "Oh my gosh, this is the worst the worst decision Arsenal have ever made." Not in my mind. I feel like we can. I don't understand this kind of mentality of, oh well, because a player is on purple form, that because he's now going, we can't find better. And it's this recentism thing that Arsenal fans do When somebody hits a purple patch, they're the best player ever. When somebody hits a bad patch, they're the worst player ever. And if they're the worst player ever, then let's get rid. If they're the best player ever, oh, they can't see the wood for the trees. There are better players out there. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, immensely respected. And like Claude says, I think he's a good player. And he will be remembered as an Arsenal great, if for no other reason, for his cup final goals. But there are better players out there. I'm sorry, they are. They just are. That's just my view on that. Rabiot being one of them. But Colin, what do you think?
He's a decent player. I respect the fact that he's not drop-arsed like certain individuals in the squad have done this season. 5 times to my recollection. But, like Claude, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, man. I'm not. I've seen better players come through the door than Aaron fucking Ramsey, bro. I mean, I'm not going to... Do you know what the whole thing with Arsenal fans being attached to Ramsey is? Do you know what that is? That's sentiment. That's what that is. Right? It's the same reason we hung on to the old manager for far too long. It's the same reason we held on to the likes of Wilshere for far too long. And it's the same reason that we've still, after all this time, held on to Jenkinson. Enough. That bullshit has to stop. Right? There's better players out there that you can get than Aaron Ramsey. Nicolo Barella from Cagliari being one of them.
Yeah.
I rate him.
I'm not, honest to God, Chick, I'm not bullshitting here. Like, what? Arsenal fans have to get over this sentimental bullshit. It's held us back for years. How, honest to God, yeah, how many shows have we done, me, Tops, and you, right, complaining about this sentimental mentality that this club has?
Yeah.
Too many. And yet, when it looks like we're trying to get rid of it, people are just like, oh, Aaron Ramsey's a club legend. Oh, Aaron Ramsey's a great. At first, you want rid of the mentality that we have. Now you're willing to hang on to it because of Aaron Ramsey. Fuck off. Seriously, fuck off. Nah. There's better players you can get. Like I mentioned, Nicolo Barella, and another one from my Italian club, Frank Kessie. Have that one.
Yeah. What about Neil Maddison?
You mean James Maddison?
No, did I say James Maddison? Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I rate him highly.
Yeah.
Highly.
He's more of a number 10 than he is a box-to-box, Claude.
But they say that Aaron Ramsey's a number 10 as well.
Ramsey's not a 10, Chick. Ramsey's not a 10. He's box-to-box. That's why Barella and Kessie are perfect replacements, because that's what those two are. Barella's more of an all-rounder, whereas Frank Kessie, he will get up and down quick, and he will put a tackle in as well.
Because I know he's listening at the moment. What about Brooks from Bournemouth? Lee's suggestion. I know he rates Brooks highly.
Mate, I'm not a fan of signing players from Bournemouth.
Hey, to be fair, Brooks scored at the weekend. He's a good player.
Mate, I don't mind. Okay, it's not Brooks I have a problem with. It's us linking. It's us getting linked to Ryan Fraser. That I have a problem with.
That's your country, man. What are you talking about?
Mate, I don't care. Honest to God, mate. There's better options than Ryan Fraser, all right?
I agree.
And besides that, right, I know my brother wants that to happen just so Aberdeen get the sell-on fee. So anything I can do to stick it to his muggy ass, then fair enough.
Oh, dear.
What about Smith Rowe?
Yeah, I did see somebody mention Smith Rowe.
What about anyone else?
I don't think it's going to happen for Maitland-Niles in the centre. I really don't. I think he either makes a go of it at right back or that's it for him.
Really?
To be fair to him, he's done quite well at right back, though.
Yeah.
Very poor at Everton, though.
True.
Yeah, but Claude,
Excellent against Napoli,
Claude,
though.
honest question, right? Who wasn't poor at Everton?
Oh, they were all poor, from the manager down to the players.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, Claude, right? And this is what I keep saying about mentality, right? This isn't the first time the players have dropped arse this season. I can count 5 times they've done it. 5 times. Man United in the Cup, Bate Borisov, Rennes, Everton. There's one more. There's one more. West Ham, exactly. Like, there's probably more.
Southampton.
Yeah, that's another one.
Exactly. See, that's the problem. It's all about mentality, right? If you don't have it up here, then you're not gonna make it at the top level. Look at, Liverpool, City, them clubs, right? Why do you think they are where they are? Because it's up here. They have that winning mentality. This team has the mentality to drop arse whenever they fucking feel like it.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, that's very true. But, I mean, the team he picked out against Everton, mate, didn't help either.
No, didn't.
Okay, well, going ahead towards tomorrow's game, let's get it back onto the preview. In terms of their threats and the things that they do well, are we worried solely about Deeney and Decore and their usual threats, or is there any other? Do you think they'll pose us a different type of threat in another way? Because I feel like it could just be the Deeney thing. Because let's be honest here, we all know that Mustafi is going to play tomorrow because of Socrates' suspension. So what do you think is the best way of us dealing with that Deeney threat? Because if I'm Troy Deeney, I'm targeting Mustafi straight away.
Well, no, I would pose ourselves on them.
Yeah.
Let's change the mentality. Why are we worried about Watford?
Yeah.
We're Arsenal, for fuck's sake. Why are we worried about Watford? Yeah? We should be imposing ourselves on them. And there's no reason why if we play that same team we played, apart of course, there's one change. We played the same team we played the other night on a good run, had the same intensity in our play. There's no way we should be blowing them away. But
yeah.
Course,
so
we know that's not going to happen.
So you would play 2 up top tomorrow?
Right? Yes, I would. Mate, let them worry about us. Why are we suddenly worried about Watford?
Okay.
We shouldn't be worried about Watford away, should we? Come on, let's be. If we're a team that's wants to make progress, we've got to be going there and imposing our game on them. Not worrying about what they've got. What about what we've got? We've got players there. We've got players that can hurt them more than what they can hurt us. It's just it's imposing our game and putting that intensity that we played in that first half against Napoli the other night. Putting that same intensity against Watford away. Why should it be any different where we're playing away from home or at home? Have that same intensity and we will win the game.
Okay, well said. How about you, Tops? What do you think? Are you more worried about them, or do you think that we'll be able to turn up tomorrow with the same mentality that we had against Napoli, like Claude said?
I mean, I think it all just depends on the lineup and what he chooses. And I think if, like Claude was saying, if you go with a positive lineup, because look at the team we did play against Napoli. What, Ramsey, Ozil, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Torreira, all in the same team at the same time on the same pitch. And like Claude was saying, Napoli had to worry about all of our attacking players because we had so much quality at the same time instead of leaving someone on the bench that we ended up dominating the game and should have won by more. And I think if we go in there against Watford with that same mentality where they've got 2 strikers to think about, they've got Ozil to think about, they've got Ramsey making runs from midfield to think about. I think it automatically makes them go back a couple of yards and think, okay, maybe we can't go gung-ho today. Maybe we can't just stick it to them because they've got quality to hurt us. And I think it's all based off the selection. I think if we go with the 5 at the back, I'm not really a fan of it, but if we can, accommodate with having more attacking players going up front, I think we can stick it to them. And Deeney, that's going to be their only threat, I think, to be honest with you. That long ball, that flick on by Deeney that they always love to do, and him trying to cause us problems and trying to win a penalty like they seem to do every season. So for me, all guns blazing, pardon the pun, 2 strikers up front, attacking midfield, and I think we should just try and take the game to them. Because let's be real, we're not going to keep a clean sheet. We haven't all season, so we might as well just try and outscore them, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'd go all guns blazing, my friend.
Yeah, and Colin?
Mate, I'm of that mentality where we should not fear Watford in the slightest. Seriously, fuck Watford Football Club. I don't give a fuck. I don't. I do not care. Like, we should not go into games fearing them, because I know our away form's shocking, but let's not forget, we beat the same Watford side earlier in the season.
Yeah, true.
Why are we fearing them?
True.
Why are we fearing them? Yes, it took us to the final minutes of the game to beat them, but we still beat them, didn't we?
Mm.
We kept a clean sheet, did we not?
Yeah.
So why are people scared of Watford now? Yeah, they'll have their tails up being in the FA Cup final and whatnot, but man for man, we have a better squad.
Yeah.
I don't get this mentality where people are scared of Watford. If we play our game to the best of our ability, and that's the key thing here, it's about up here, right? And as you're saying, Mustafi's going to play, I just moaned and groaned at that. I'll tell you what, that's another thing, actually. The change in mindset from me on Mustafi as well. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. But no. We should be beating Watford. All right. And if we don't, well, it'll be the 6th time the players have ballsed it up. So we'll know who's to blame and who's not. But I think we'll beat them, mate.
Yeah, and for me, I'm quietly confident. My only worry is I do have flashbacks of remembering how Troy Deeney bullied our defence last season. But I also take Colin's point in the sense that I actually thought we played reasonably well against them earlier in the season, albeit at home. What I would like to see is us get a couple of goals in front and take the likes of Koscielny off, who has a knock already, Torreira, who gets tired easily in games, and we're going to need his energy on Thursday, and maybe one of the attackers as well. So I'd like those 3 subs to be made at some point during the game. Maybe give, what's his name, a few minutes, Mavropanos. But to me, and I guess normally I ask all the guests at this stage of the preview to do their 1 to 11s. It sounds like we're all in agreement that we'd only make 2 changes, and those are because we have to, and that's the goalkeeper and the central defender, which is Mustafi.
That's the thing, Chick, because the lineup picks itself, man. The lineup picks itself. You can't really swap any players out at this stage. Look, as much as I don't want Mustafi playing for too long, because we all know what he's like, we can't really afford to take him out unless Socrates and Koscielny are fit and raring to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't risk Mavropanos at this stage of the season. I mean, granted, no one can do worse than Mustafi, but
Yeah,
I just
he's not
think
been playing games, has he?
I just think it's a bit too risky, and we cannot afford to take risks at this stage of the season. So, for that reason, I wouldn't play him.
I like Mavropanos, but I was tempted to put him in instead of Mustafi. But like you say, for me, I think you're at the stage of the season now where you just have to keep going until the wheels fall off. And if and when they do fall off, you then put on the spare tire. And I think Mavropanos just has to be patient and perhaps go on loan next season. And that might be his future. But I do like the player a lot. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Also, Heavy D's bringing his belt, so he might win there.
Oh, got a bit extra good luck. Yeah, that's
Bro, I'm the one with the belt. I've got the belt right this bitch. All right? Nah. I'm the one with the real belt, all right? I've not got it now, but it's somewhere.
All right. Well, just before we wrap things up, and I'm going to get your predictions. Everybody listening, do remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if this is your first time on here. It's kind of what I do, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Right. So let me get your predictions and goal scorers for not only for Monday but for Thursday as well. So, Top, I'm going to come to you.
Okay. For the Watford game, I think we'll win. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet. I think we'll just about do it. I think we'll go a goal behind, actually. I think Deeney will get his, yearly penalty he gets against us. But I think we'll come back, and I think Lacazette and Aubameyang will be the two scorers for that. And then in Naples, it's going to be a difficult one, but I think we'll just about do it. I'm going to go for a 2-1 defeat, but we go through based off our 2-0 win at the Emirates. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to be a positive week away from home for us, so we can move on with the rest of the season. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's FYI, those are my two predictions as well. I think, although I think it'll be 3-1 Watford, but I think we'll lose that game on Thursday, but it'll be enough anyway. So 2-1 to them. Claude, what about you? What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna go. If we put this is a big if, but I'm sure if we can play what we played the other night in the same intensity, I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory in the Watford game. And in Naples, you're going to believe this, I think we'll get a 0-0 draw because I can't see them scoring.
Oh wow! Okay.
I watched them the other night, and I'm sorry. Their finishing was woeful.
It was bad, yeah. It was bad.
I can't see them scoring. I don't think they're that good. They're that good. Colin probably watches Italian football more than me.
Claude, they are good. They are, but they were. The thing with Napoli, right? Their away form is similar to us. Like, it's not. They beat Chievo today, but Napoli are the second best side in Serie A. They should be beating Chievo Verona anyway. But the thing is, Insigne did not look himself. And listen, Tops and Chig both know how much I rate Insigne. I love the guy. Really do. I really do.
I think he's a fabulous player.
He was not great. Napoli's best player on the pitch was Koulibaly.
Yeah.
It was,
Funny you should say that, Colin, because even away to Salzburg, they got beat 3-1, didn't they?
Yeah.
Maybe they're more of a home side. I don't know. I mean, I'm only looking at what I saw the other night, and it looked like they. I mean, first half, I think it was the pace of the game. I don't think they could live with the pace of the game in the first half because the Italian football is a lot slower, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And I think, but once actually they got more into the game as the game slowed down in the second half, didn't they? But they were creating in the second half, creating the opportunities, but their finishing was really poor, wasn't it?
They just they were rattled by how quick we started the game, and that really set the tone for the second half as well. I don't think we'll lose to Napoli on Thursday. I don't think we'll lose. I think it's more than likely going to be 1-1. I think we'll get an away goal early, and that'll kind of flatten Napoli a bit. They'll get a goal back, but I don't think they'll come back into it, at least. I hope not, because I mean, I'm not blowing smoke up my arse, but my streak of being right all the time is forever extending. So more to me being right again.
Don't make me remind you of Mustafi.
Colin,
don't make me remind you.
Colin,
mate, I'm not gonna get into that, all right?
Oh, dear.
And I'm counting after that, by the way.
Yeah.
Colin, you watch a lot of European football, Colin, yeah? Do you think Valencia would be a tougher opponent?
That's a good question.
Ooh.
That's a good question.
I think they might be.
I don't know, Claude, because I couldn't. Thing is, I don't watch Spanish football. I'd only watch Italian football because I've grown up on it. But I
Probably
don't,
one for Canton, this, isn't it?
I don't know, mate. Honestly, Tom's probably the better person to ask in regards to that one.
Yeah.
He's a La Liga guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they might be, because I've always said prior to going into these ties that Italian sides, we have a fantastic record against Italian sides. Italian sides are not our issue. Spanish sides, on the other hand, we have a terrible record against them. So I know people are talking about Chelsea final. I'm thinking, hold on, we still got Valencia potentially to come if we get past Thursday. So
mate, Chelsea are a dead team without Hazard. Let's be honest, mate. Dead team.
Yeah, I agree. You saw evidence of that today. So there you go. Yeah, I think that's pretty much wraps things up from us. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined us. I appreciate everybody watching. Tops, you want to let the people know where they can find you?
Yeah, man. Follow me on my account, Tops Twitter account. Obviously, the link will be in the bio as well. All my thoughts on the Arsenal games, me tweeting or whatever. So yeah, man, if you want to keep up to date with me, talking, Arsenal thing, just give me a follow on Twitter, man. But yeah, thanks for having me on, bro.
No, you're more than welcome. And Colin, do you want to let the people know where they can find you?
They can head over to Much FM. I've rebranded Much Arsenal, so yeah, FM content now. Yeah, it's good. We got an Arsenal save going on over there. Going very well, thank you. Yet to update it though. Tactical guides and whatnot, just tactics that have brought me success. And well, me and Chick have been trying to work out some kinks here and there. So
we will do.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. Banter will be next level, I'm sure. And I'm sure I'll be critical of your transfer business as always.
We'll see. We'll see, my man. We'll see. Just remember, Chick knows defenders. That's what I know.
Mate, I've got a few lined up. We're all good over here.
Oh dear. Yes, and I'll leave the links to both Colin and Tops' channel in the description below. Claude, do you want to let the people know where they can find you?
Yeah, can I just say what a great sporting comeback tonight from Tiger Woods, yeah?
Oh, brilliant.
You never give up in sport, yeah?
Yes.
Incredible.
100%.
Written off 2 years ago, never thought he'd play golf again. Come back to win the Masters. A great achievement, yeah? Big up Tiger Woods. I know not many people like him, but...
Yeah, well said.
Pick him up on that. It's Claude AFTV on Twitter, and it's Guna Claude on Instagram, yeah? But no abuse, please.
Yes, well said. Also, just out of interest, I know we were talking about top wingers earlier. Nicolas Pepe, who we were talking about earlier, just scored against PSG. So that just shows you how good this kid is. If we could get him somehow. Oh, I wish. Anyway, thank you guys.
More like Ryan Fraser.
Exactly. Not like Ryan Fraser. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. No doubt we'll catch up again. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm doing a watch along, possibly with Lee. So do stay tuned on that one. That should be fun. And I'll
Is
see
he
you
not
tomorrow.
going?
Say that again.
Is
What,
he going?
Watford? What? No, Watford tickets are hard to get. He won't be able to get one.
I thought he said he was going to me. Oh, right.
He never is able to get Watford tickets. He may get. That's why I'm saying maybe, because I think he may be trying to find a ticket, but he's not confident. The last time I spoke to him, so
Well, as long as Heavy D turns up with that belt.
there you go. There you go. All right, we're out of here, people. Take care. Peace.